Hi, welcome. Simon here and hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to walk you through step by step from start to finish on how to replace a MacBook Pro 16-inch LCD screen. This will be a full assembly, meaning that I'll be changing out the entire screen. As you can see that the computer turns on, I can have the volume, the touch bar working, but I do not have the screen here. So what happened is that there is a crack on the top right corner. As you can see that the LCD screen here is cracked, and I'll be replacing that in this process. All right, let's go ahead and press and hold the power button until that the computer shuts off. All right, so once the computer is off, go ahead and remove the adapter. And you should identify your model, making sure it's the correct version. As you can see, that is the A2141, model A2141, MacBook Pro 16-inch. I think this is a 2019 model. All right, first thing first, you need to have this Pentalope P5. Pentalope P5, we're going to remove the two screws on the top. The screws on the top are much longer compared to the 4 screws at the bottom, so do not mix match those screws. If you're not sure, what I like to do is to take a picture of the computer and then print it out. As you remove the screw, you put the screw on top of the piece of paper that you just print out. 4 screws here at the bottom, a lot shorter, and I'll be still using a Pentalope P5. All right, once you have removed all the 4 screws, the next step is to go ahead and pry the back cover open and slide it towards your body. Okay, so if you notice that there are 2 missing screws here on both sides, they're not missing screws. What they use is a clipper that clips onto the side. So we need to pop the thing up and then slide that back cover. And I'll show it to you right now. Okay. So what you like to do is to get yourself a metal prying tool. I stick it just enough to have a little gap. Okay, that little gap for me to go underneath using my finger. And then I'm just going to pop it, pushing, separating that back cover and the laptop. And you should hear the little crack, which is normal. Okay, that is the clipper. I just pop it, turn it around, do it on this side. Okay, once you have popped the 2 sides of the clipper, now you can slide the back cover down towards your body. So I'm holding the back cover. While I'm sliding it down, I'm using the other finger to push the bottom of the laptop here to push it away. So slide down and push it away. Okay, and you just remove the entire back cover. I'll show it to you. That is the 2-side clipper I was talking about, that you need to pop it open. The clipper is right there. And then here is where you slide in, and to remove it, you're going to slide out. All right, that's being explained. So let's move on to the next step. First, we need to disconnect the battery. So just peel off this plastic cover. Let me try to zoom it a little bit, at least you guys can focus while you're working on the computer. I think this is good enough. All right, so there's a little tape, just gonna peel it back. And then I like to use a plastic prying tool to flip that little clipper. So there's a side clipper, flip it up and then slide that cable to your left to remove it. Okay. Once you have removed that, I'll be using a T5. This is the Torx T5. Remove that screw. Okay, remove that screw. And then this one here, I just like to gently lift it up. What it does is that it touches together for connection. When you remove the screw, I leave it up so there's a gap, and that would disconnect the battery. All right, let's move on to the next step. what I like to do is from the left corner here, I'll be using a T4 screwdriver, either T4 or T3, Torx 3 or Torx 4. I'll be using a T4 for my case. Remove these two screws here. That two screws is holding down the hinge, the screen, so remove that. And then remove the plastic as well. Come around, I'll be using a T4 steel. Okay, and again, what I like to do is to take a picture of the layout. As you remove the screws, you know where to put it back after. So I'll be removing the two screws, and which is right here. That is the screw I'll be removing. Not sure why it's not coming out. Okay, remove that screw. Remove this screw now. There are 4 screws together, okay? Remove all 4 of them. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Some of you say might be Torx 3, some of you is Torx 4. I do not know, maybe my old screwdriver has worn out on the tip, so I'll be using a T4, but if you have a brand new screwdriver set, you might want to use a T3. T3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that is one screw here. Second screw. And you can go ahead and remove that little piece of a bracket. And 2 more screws. And remove this bracket. Now you can use a plastic prying tool. Go ahead and pry it open and flip it back. All right, the next step is to go ahead and peel this little plastic cover. You can see there are 3 cables, and that is for your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Go ahead and stick underneath and lift it up, just like simple like that. Just lift it up. Okay, once you're done with that 3 Wi-Fi cable, this is a T5, Torx T5. I'll be removing that screw here. And that is to hold down the Wi-Fi antenna. The next step is to use T5. Go ahead and unscrew 4 of this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. T5. Okay, once you have removed all the 4 screws, you can now see that the LCD board is free to go, and this is the Wi-Fi antenna. Before we remove the Wi-Fi antenna, we need to get a Pentalope P2 0.8. So if you can see that is Pentalope 0.8 or Pentalope P2 to remove 16 screws that is holding down the Wi-Fi antenna. Okay, let's go ahead and start. They're really tiny, and be very patient when you remove them. Do not rush it, because I do not want you to strip the screw. And there's a high chance that you might strip the screw. So do not get disappointed, because I do have a separate video that I made on how to remove a stripped screw from a MacBook Pro. So please go ahead and check the video. I'll link it down in the description below. and if you happen to strip your screw. But the point is to make sure that you have the right tools, and then making sure that it was inserted correctly, and then when you turn, you might have a firm grip. Make sure you have a firm grip and be straight. The screwdriver has to be straight. A lot of time when you strip the screw, it's because the screwdriver is tilted at certain angle, and when you turn, it wasn't gripping hard enough on the screw, therefore that screw got stripped. Okay, but again, it's not end of the world if you strip the screw, because I don't think you need 16 screws to hold down the Wi-Fi antenna. This is overkill. So if you miss 1 or 2 screws, if you drop them, it's not a big deal, because it's not moving around, versus like the hinge, you know, the hinge on the screen that you move the screen open and close all the time, that only has 3 screws holding down on one side, so 6 screws in total. But this little Wi-Fi thing that doesn't move at all, they put 16 screws of them. It's ridiculous, but they just want to make things difficult, I guess. But again, we remove all 16 screws. Okay, once you have done with the process, you can now, let me zoom out a little bit. You can now remove the Wi-Fi antenna by simply just wiggle away from your body. Be careful with the cable here. The cable, as you can see, that is slide out and underneath that heatsink, and also that little tiny hole to get out. Okay, so that is your Wi-Fi antenna. And the final screws is using a T8 or T8. We're going to remove, oops, I forgot to remove this one here. T4, remove the 2 screws. That little plastic cover is covering up the hinge. Remove them. Remove the plastic bracket, and I'll be still using a T4. You might want to use a T3. I explained it earlier. That tiny little screw right there, you need to remove it. Oh, sorry, my apologies. I don't think it's a T4. It's actually a Pentalope P2 0.8. That is that tiny. And again, the flex cable, do not pull it out, because you remove that tiny little screw, and that cable right there should not be ripped. Okay, do not rip that tiny little cable. Put that on that side, put that on that side. Now we're going to come back here using a T8. Okay, I'm going to remove that 3 screw here, the big giant ones. That is for the LCD screen. Come back and do this on that side. Okay, once you have removed 6 of them, the next step is to go ahead and open up the screen. I'm opening up at 90-degree angle, or slightly more than that, pushing all the way to the back. And now you can free up that little hinge on both sides, okay? And the whole screen will just come right off. Okay, so that is my broken screen. And let me get a new screen. I do not have a brand new screen, so I'll be using a used screen. This is a used exact same model. This is the broken screen. And what you like to do is to make sure that the flex cables, the PCB LCD screen board, is on top of the laptop. Okay, go to sit on top of it. So making sure that when you align them, all this cable is going to go on top of it like such. Okay, And of course, before you do that, making sure your hinge is open at 90-degree angle or slightly more in the back. And you want to kind of slide it in. Okay, like so, slide it in. Double check the cable, making sure the cables are sitting on top of the laptop, and then come back here and join the other side. That hinge right there. Okay, once you're holding it, I'm still holding it right now. I'm not letting it go. Okay, I'm using the table to hold it, but I have this screw here, which is the T8. Okay, I'm going to screw one of the hinge down so that I can close the screen and continue to work on it. So this is that one little screw right there. It's just to hold it down for now. Oops. Keep sliding off, but come on. Okay. All right, so I have the screws down. I'm closing down the screen. Double checking, making sure that the flex cable is not pinched or clipped. They're supposed to be all flexible and going all the way back. All right. And now I'd like to come back and finish up the rest of the screw here. Okay, once you have done with that 6 screws going down the hinge, do not forget this tiny little screw here. That is for the whatever it is right there. Just put it in. Feels tight. Looks good. And the plastic cover. Okay, 2 screws. T4. Right now the process is reverse. We're going to put everything back together. Okay, what I like to do is to slide the Wi-Fi antenna. I would like to kind of pinch it down a little bit. Let me zoom in here a little for you. And what you want to do, you want to slide it in that little hole. Keep sliding in. That there's supposed to be 3 Wi-Fi cable, and then this little metal bracket as well. And now you can see that the Wi-Fi is coming out. The first one is showing up already, but it goes underneath the motherboard. So we want to use a plastic tool to lift it up, help that little wire to go on top of the motherboard while you're still pushing in. Sorry about my phone. Okay, so it goes up. Here comes the second one. And here comes the third one. Okay, once you have all the 3 cables coming up on the top, you want to make sure that this little metal here goes on top to the motherboard as well, because that is the one to secure and fasten the Wi-Fi. Now once you're done with that, position the Wi-Fi antenna, kind of push it down a little bit. Okay, position the one right in the middle here, making sure that the holes are matching, and then push it down a little bit. Okay, there you go. As simple as that. What I like to do is to connect the Wi-Fi cable, 3 of them. Align. And just making sure you do not put pressure and push it down too hard, okay? Because the connector is just like a circle. It goes on top of each other. All you have to do is make sure to align them properly, and then you gently press it down. Do not force it to go down. Once you're done with that, that little one Wi-Fi screw, put it back in, you're all set. Tape it down. Okay, next process is to have the 4 screws that is going back into this one here. You know what? I'm just going to use this first. I do not know if this use screen actually works. So I am going to skip some of the screws, especially those tiny little ones, the 16 of them. Okay, reconnect the LCD cable. They're just like Lego. Make sure you align them properly and push it down. This is what I'm trying to pay attention to. You want to flip. So we want to slide it in, like slide it in and tuck it underneath, okay? Slide it in and tuck it underneath. Once you have done with that process, go ahead and put the screws back. Okay, this metal bracket goes back on top, and the 2 tiny screws. And that bracket as well. 2 tiny screws. Oops. It fell inside that little hole. Come on. Oh no, no. Okay. Thank God. Fell off. What is going on? Okay, finally. So 2 screws and the bracket goes back in. This little plastic here. Sorry about that. I'm trying to put the screws in. It is so stubborn. Come on. Okay, we are done. Now, I'm just going to start with a couple of the screws, which is the Wi-Fi antenna. I am going to just do a couple of them for now, because I just want to make sure that the U screen is working. I do not want to put everything back together and the screen doesn't work, right? So this is a U screen. I got it from eBay. Again, if you're not sure where to buy those things from, the tools, the screen, please check the link down in the description below. Okay, I'm just gonna put 2 on each side. Let me reconnect the cable here. Before I do that, this is the screw P5. Make sure the clipper is open, okay? That little plastic clipper is open. And you're going to slide that cable back in and use this little plastic to level up and pull, okay? Like all the way in like that. And then push the clipper down. Put the tape back together. And this little tape back here. Okay, I am just going to temporarily have this little bracket to show you how to slide it back in, because you might want to do that. So you want to align your screen, okay, like such. Remember, you remove by sliding it off. So this thing here, got to slide it back in. Okay, just want to make sure you align them in a position first. And then when you slide it in, take some skill to do this. Okay, slide it in. Okay, all you have to do is to slide it in first. Make sure it aligns in the corner. Make sure all the corners are aligned, and then you press it down in the middle and you hear that little clicker. Okay, that is to close it, and do not forget the screw. Now let's try the moment of truth. Since you guys stay here all the way in the end of the video, you have to plug it in, because we disconnect the battery, that resets the motherboard. So you have to plug your charger, plug it in, and try to turn on the computer. If not, the computer wouldn't turn on. Just so you know. Okay, there you go. My Apple logo shows up. I should have a screen. I need to clean it off. This is a U screen, so it's quite dusty and dirty. I might want to cover up the username. Yeah, there is a username here, so I like to cover up the thing. Let me get one of the sticky note here. There you go. So we have a working screen, and yep, everything should be working just fine. My cursor is right here. Let's go ahead and turn off the computer, shut it down. There you go. So I hope this video is helpful, and if you do find the video is helpful, please smash the like button for me. I really appreciate you for liking the video, and if you haven't subscribed, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. And again, if you want to show appreciation, and I really appreciate you for showing appreciation, you can click the super thanks. Super thanks on YouTube allows you to do donation and to show your appreciation to support my channel. Okay, I'm happy that this video able to help you to fix your MacBook Pro screen, and comment down below. Thanks for watching. Until next time, good luck with the repair.